Okay, triangle star. Okay, let's see that. How exactly it will look like. Okay, so this way. So yeah, this is a pattern. So we need to print. So here, this is something. So this is something tricky. Like we cannot directly print the stars. If you print the stars, if you're directly counting the stars and try to print the stars, you will need to care about these spaces also, right? You have to take care about spaces also. Then only the triangle, proper triangle will come. Otherwise, if you're not care about the spaces, so all stars will be fall into the left side, right? So it will be like a 90 degrees triangle. So that triangle will come. So you have to be care about the spaces also. So now for each row, so how many rows are there? Let's say 5. Let's create a for loop with the 5. I equals to 7 equals to 5, right? So this is what the outer for loop is required, the 5 times. Now outer for loop is done. And what about the inner for loop? Why we taken the inner for loops? So this is just for rows, and how many columns are there? That many iterations we need to loop it in the inner for loop, right? But if you see it in the inner for loop, there is a two values, two kinds of values. One is a spaces and one is a star. So you have to make a two more for loops inside of a this for loop. For one is for spaces and one is for stars. So let's do it now. So this is a for loop, so which you have to take care. Just keep something like you no need to change the values now. Just keep 5, and we will change it later. This is for this is just to comment. We already said this, right? So this is all about comments. So it will not execute if you do like this. It will not execute. But this is for spaces. So and one more for loop. So that is just like change it to the k 1 and keep it for 5. Just for you are not, we are not just started, right? Just keep it for 5 stars. This is for stars. One minute. Okay. So everyone is clear, right? So why we created two for loops instead of it? Instead of this for loop, we created two more. Like one is for spaces and one is for stars. So if you see, for spaces, you have to, for each and every row there is some spaces. You have to calculate the number of spaces also first. So just calculate 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is starting from 4 and 3, 2, 1, 4 to 0. You have to use the pattern programming is all about you have to use the whatever the available numbers. So whatever the available numbers, you have to use it. Like let's say I'll use n instead of directly I equals to instead of directly using 5, I'll use just n equals to 5, right? So I'll use n here for everywhere. Now we have a value of n. We have a value of n equals to 5. N will be common. So we have the value of that. And I equals to what? So I equals to 1. I equals to 2. I equals to 3. I equals to 5. So, and how many stars and how many spaces is required? Spaces equals to 4. We need 4 spaces whenever I equals to 1. And what about stars? Stars equals to 1. Right? So just decrementing the spaces and incrementing the stars. This is 3 and this is also 3 and this is 2 and this is 5. This is 1 and this is 7 and this is 0 and this is 9. So we need this many values. I mean values in the sense count. We have to keep the count here this many. So then only it will properly work. And let's see, we have the value of 5 and value of 1. How can you make it as a 4? And we have value of 5 and 2. How can we make it as 3? For n value and I value. By using these two values, can we make it these values? Yes, we can. If you see the values available in hand, so n is available and I is available. So how can we make the count? I mean, the limit of the spaces to these values. So let's take it as 5 minus 1 is a 4, right? 5 minus 2, 3. 5 minus 3, 2. 5 minus 4, 1. 5 minus 5, 0. So all you need to do here is 5 minus 1. That means n minus I. N minus I. This is a formula. That's it. It will start with the 1 and end with the n minus I. N minus I in the sense, if n equals to, n is always 5. If I equals to y, 1, it will be 4. It will be 4. So that many times it will loop. So if I equals to 2, it will be 3. If I equals to 3, it will be 2. That many times it will loop and print the spaces. Just print the spaces. How to print the spaces? Double quotes, give the space like this. That's it. Now spaces is fine. And what about the stars? Is yeah, you need to generate a formula. That's it. And the spaces we already done. And what about the stars? So let's see. If you clearly observe, uh, we have a n value and we have a I value, and we need to print this one. We need to print this many times stars. So if you see keenly observe, is there any relation you can make it by this value and this value, this and this and this and this and this and this? If you clearly observe, it is almost double. For 5, it is 9. For 4, it is 7. For 3, it is 5. For 2, it is 3. For 1, it is 1. But if you observe, it is almost double, minus 1. Double minus 1, isn't it? If you see for I value, the stars are double minus 1. 2 into I minus 1, isn't it? Let's say, let's apply that formula 2 into I minus 1 for everyone, for every row. 2 into 1, 2 minus 1, it's a 1. 2 into 2, 4 minus 1. 3 into 2, 6 minus 1, 5. 4 into 2, 8 minus 1, 7. 5 into 2, 10 minus 1, 9. Yeah, we no need to use the n now. I mean, if you require, then use it. Then I don't want. I mean, without using the n itself, we are getting the stars, number of stars. So just use I. Like the formula is 2 into is star, 2 into I minus 1. So this is a formula. Whenever you see this program, you might not get it. You might not get it why we return like 2 into I minus 1. But if you draw like this, you will easily get it. Why we return like 2 into I minus 1. So it is all about the limit. It will start with the 1, and what exactly limit fallen for each iteration is a matter. So for that iteration, for that limit, so we are just calculating the formula even before writing this logic and place it here. Just now put star, that's it. And after all, just give a system.out.println and just get it by, okay, that's fine. Now run it. If you see the stars, file length star came. This is a file length star. So if you wanted to, that's why the purpose of declaring n very outside, like even before starting the program and before starting the logic of a pattern, we declare into the n, we declare the 5 as a n and using the n here. So this is advantage if you centralize the variable. Otherwise you have to change it in everywhere. For example, I wanted to go with the 6. I need to just change it here and just run it. It will print. And what about if you are using directly 6 everywhere? You have to change it everywhere. And if something is going wrong, then gone. You have to identify where exactly it failed. So that's why create a variable outside and just use it for your logic. And yeah, use it scanner for this. Use the scanner SCR equals to new scanner system.in. So here just scanner dot nextInt. SCR dot nextInt. That's it. So even before this, just give a system.out.println, enter a digit. See, I'm going to enter a digit of, I'm going to enter a digit of 10. So it'll give the 10 of size. 1 second. Yeah, that's what. So if you give the length, so it is dynamic. Everything is dynamic now. So the formula, so we are not hard coded anything. We are not just hard coded. We are not using any hard coded value like 5, 6. So whatever the value we give to the n, so it will automatically take that much of length and print the pyramid for us. Just give 25. So it will give like this, right? So any doubt till here? Any doubt? So I think we will see 1 or 2 examples of patterns tomorrow also. That is something important. So this is just nothing but a reverse printing of a pyramid. That's it. I'm just giving the example of 5 we printed like this, right? In the same pyramid, just it will be like this, rhombus kind of thing. So we will see that part later. tomorrow, right? So any doubt? You understood this one? Why we used two for loops instead of outer for loop? Because of this is for rows, and these two is for the columns. Earlier it is just like a 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5 can be achieved in a single for loop, but here in each column two types of data is there. First one is spaces and second one is stars. That too it is decrementing and it is incrementing. So that's why for this is a column printing. Instead of each and every row, we need to print a column. For each column, we have two different kind of data. First one is spaces and second one is stars. And if you comment out this one, if you're not clear about the spaces, let's see how it will go. It will print different way. I mean 90-degree triangle like this. So you have to give the spaces, then each stars will be come into the order. So just enable it, and yeah, any doubt? Pyramid, right? So yesterday we have seen this. So let me run it again. And so this is a pyramid we seen yesterday, right? Today we will see like same one, but under that there will be one more triangle in the reverse order. So that will look like total. It will be look like a rhombus kind of thing. So let's see that. How can we print it? So for that, let's create a one more class. So everyone is practicing. Without practice, it's not good actually. You will not get it. So let's create a class. And instead of a class, there is a main method. And the type of a pyramid is, let's copy the whole thing. Space is gone. This was a 5 length pyramid. I would like to print one more thing that is in bottom. Let's see. Space, give the space and print. So 7 stars. And in the next line, 1 2 3 4. This one also star. And so this is what I would like to print. If I give 5, so it will take 5-digit rhombus. 5-digit rhombus in the sense. So since it is like upper part 4 and left down part 4 and middle part is a main one. So we have to print like this. If I give 5, if I give 6, then top one 5, bottom 5, middle one is a 1, which is a +1. It's a 6. So it has to be like this. So now we have a logic till here. So till here we already printed. So let's take the same logic. Let's keep the same logic. Copy and paste. So if we run this, it will take till 10th line. So till here, upper part of a pyramid, it will take care about. But what about the down part? For down part, it's a new rows. It's a new rows. So let's say this is for rows. This is for rows, right? So this is a rows, and I would like to print one more. Few more rows. So till here, 5 rows of a code, it will take care about this one first for loop. And how about this thing? We have to take care about the down part also, right? So this is a new rows. So we have to create a one more for loop. It is completely depending on the outside for. It's completely depending on independent on this for loop. It is not depending on that. Just down part. this is up, this is up part, and this is down part. Instead of a for down part, you have to create a for loop. So how can we create a for loop? Like, how will you start it? Start with the one. So let's see here. I less than or equals to, if you put n here, so what will happen? It will create a 5 rows again. But if you keenly observe, this is not a 5 row, only 4 rows, because 5 rows is already covered here. I mean, as I said, this is the main one, middle one, upper four one, upper triangle have 4 rows and down triangle have 4 rows. But this one is covered in the upper triangle only, the middle one. So for the upper triangle part, so we covered the 5 less than or equals to n. See, if you see here, it will create a 5 rows, and we need to only create only 4 rows now. So you just remove the equals to, so that we will be just making sure that only 4 rows will come, like n minus 1 rows in the down triangle. So we already good with the rows. So this is rows, and inside of this, we have the same thing again. So this is a spaces and this is a stars. We have to print the same thing. Now just create a two more for loop for spaces and stars. This is for spaces and this is for stars. For spaces, let's create a for loop. Let's just create a normal one, like just j started with the 1 and ended with the n. Let's create like this. Let's keep it, and let's see now. Uh, for I equals to 1, and this is for I equals to 2, and again I is again started. So here, after ending of this for loop, so we started the I variable again from the 1 to n minus 1. That means less than of n means before n. It does not include the n. I equals to 3. Now I equals to 4. Now we have two values in hand, like I, n and I. So let's see how many spaces is required. Spaces. Let's count the spaces is required for this. So this is 1. So 1 space is required. Spaces is 1. Stars is 7. 7 stars. Let's keep it. And here spaces is 1 by 1. Spaces is now 2. Stars is now 5. And for this, spaces is 3. Stars is, this is a calculation for 5, n equals to 5. If you write a logic, if you find out the formula for the each and every for loop, so then it can be applicable for n equals to anything. It can be anything. So stars is 3, spaces is 4 now, and the stars is 7. So this is how we sorry, this is a 1. Spaces will go 2, 3, 4, and stars will go like 7, 5, 3, 1. Now let's see. So based on this, how can we make the spaces first? We will think about the spaces first. We have n value and I value. We need to get the spaces. I equals to 1, spaces 1. I equals to 2, spaces 2. It is pretty straightforward, you can see, right? So let's directly create. It is depending on the I, right? J value spaces is depending on the I. Number of I is equals to, we have to give the limit of I. Then whenever I equals to 1, the spaces will go with the 1 time. I equals to 2, spaces will go for 2 times. So that's why, that's how. So just remove the ln and print spaces. Now spaces logic is done. And what about the stars? So this is something tricky. Let's see. And remove k, put the k, start with the 1 and equals to, then just keep it for some time, and according to the this one, make a formula. So let's observe anything you can find it. Uh, let's see stars. You have to get the 7, 5, 3, 1. So let's check any formula you can make it out of this by using n and I. If you couldn't able to get it, if you couldn't able to get it, you can change the outer for loop. You can change the values of I. You can just get it from 4 to 1. So like that you can change it. Let's see that first. Any formula. I don't think so. We can make any formula like 5 to. Yes. So we have to change the I. So one condition is satisfied. I mean, spaces will satisfy with the 1 to n. It is satisfied further spaces, but stars, I don't think so. We can get any formula. So let's change it to 4 to 1. So it will be 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I change 4 to 1, and spaces we need to change the logic also for spaces. We will change it later, and we will write the logic for stars now first. So I change the value of I from n minus 1. It is n minus 1, 4, right? So 4 to 1 it should go. This is greater than or equals to 1. This is minus minus. So I'm just going from top to bottom. I mean higher value to lower value for I. Now let's write a star logic for stars. Now if I equals to 4, it's a close to double. 4, 2 into I minus 1, same formula. Like 2 into 4 minus 1, it's a 7. 8 minus 1, 7. This one, 6 minus 1. This one, 4 minus 1, 2 minus 1. So the same formula, like it will work. So just change the formula for this. 2 into I minus 1. So this is a formula, and just keep it, keep the stars. So this is done. And what about this one, spaces? We cannot use I now because the logic is changed. If you use I, it will print 4 stars, 4 spaces here. Because we are using the I value, it will print 4 spaces here. This is not the red, right? So we have to change the logic for spaces also. So let's see how can we change it. If you observe, yeah, 5 minus 4, it's a 1. And again 5 minus 3 equals to 2. 5 minus 2 is a 3. 5 minus 1 is a 4. Now the formula is like just pretty simple, n minus I. That's it. Now change it to n minus I, this one, n minus I. Now it will work for spaces also. Understood, right, everyone? So how we are making the formula? I mean, this is all about just to making a formula. That's it. And the limit. This is a limit. What we are giving is a limit. That's it. Apart from this, everything is cool. It's easy only. And to write a, I mean, to determine the formula of it, just if you are very confident, then directly you can see this and get the formula. And if you are not confident, then write like this: I equals to 5, this is a row, and this is a column. I would like to get this many spaces and this many stars in the particular column. So like that, you have to write and you have to get it and practice like this. You will definitely get it. You will see, I mean, after some days, like you will be directly writing the formulas. Just run it. And now give 5. This one is missed out. So system.out.println after each and every row. So that's why it is printing in the row, all the rows. So we have to break it and we have to give a println. Now run it again. So this is how the down part also will print. And just check for other length, give 9. Yeah, this is what. And try for anything else bigger numbers, 20. Yeah, it printed. See, this is a completely centralized one, like global variable. So this is a variable which we are tracking for each and everything. So we are using just n here and here and here, here. Yeah, based on this, the pyramid will construct. The length of the pyramid will be decided based on n. This is about, yeah, down pyramid also. And any doubt in this? And if you are not understanding anything, let me know. I'll explain again. This is something important. So it will, nobody will ask you in interviews or else any company inside of a company work-wise. Nobody will ask you this kind of questions, but this will improve. I'm just telling you because of this will improve something analytical knowledge. So just thinking. So yeah. Okay. Good. So see, down part is just I took, this is a formulas. I mean, this is a part I need to, I mean, we need to develop, right? So for that, there is a one more. It is not depending on this for loop. It is not at all depending on the first main for loop. So this is something different and this is something different. So we have to create a one more for loop that will be for the new rows. So when you observe, so this is a 5 length rhombus, right? So in the 5 length rhombus, it will be contains of 9 rows, like middle one, middle row, top 4 and below 4. So we already done with the first five rows, like a top row, I mean top 4 rows and the middle row. We already done in the yesterday. But this one, so this one is required. So this one is required 4 more rows. So that's why I have taken this one. I just took for some because of the stars. We cannot get it if we start with the 1 and end with the 4. So that's why I just took from 4 to 1. So reverse order. So this will be like whatever the number you give, n minus 1. That means if you take 5, let's take an example of 5 only. It will be like 4, 2, 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1. So 4 times it will loop. And for each time, we need to print some spaces and stars. So we are just written the spaces, number of spaces and number of stars here. So if you see, this is a 1 space and 7 stars. 2 spaces, 5 stars. 3 spaces, 3 stars. And 4 spaces, 1 star. So it is completely decrementing. It is spaces are incrementing, stars are decrementing, right? So according to that, we have to write a logic. So whenever we wanted to print like this, any spaces, stars, we have to get all the inputs, available inputs, so that we can make out some formula. So n equals to 5. We have n value and as well as I value. For each and every iteration, it will change. I value will change, but not n value. N value will be constant. So based on these two values, can we make out stars and spaces? So we already written the count of a limit of a stars and spaces for each iteration. So let's say for spaces, we need 1 space whenever I equals to 4. And we need 2 space I equals to 3. Any formula we can make out. So this is just nothing but you have to think and you have to get the formula. So we have a n value and I value here. So whenever you combine these two, you can get out this, you can get this value like 5 minus 4. It is clearly saying if you see 1 or 2 times, then definitely it will give you some formula. It will get some formula. 5 minus 4, 1. 5 minus 3, 2. You can get it by saying n and I. And you can make out a formula, right? For spaces, it's clearly saying that n minus I. So it will give you 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, so that's why limit we given as a n minus I. So whenever the I equals to 4, that means n minus I means n is a 5, I is a 4, 5 minus 4 is 1. So that means it will loop for the one time. That's it. So very first time, it will give you 1 space. That's what we required, 1 space. So it will go for like, if I equals to 3, then n is a 5, 5 minus 3. Here it's a 2. It will replace with the 2. That means j will start with the 1, and the limit is decided as a 2. That means 1 less than or equals to 2 and 2 less than or equals to 2. 2 times it will loop, and 2 spaces it will print. So like that, spaces will work. And comes to the star. 1 second. Yeah, for stars. So same thing, like because of stars only we started from 4 to 1, right? So because of why, I mean, we started from 4 to 1. If you see for 4, if it is a 4, then we have to print a almost double time of a stars. 4 into 2 minus 1. You can make out some formula by seeing this 3 into 2 minus 1, 2 into 2 minus 1. So it will clearly saying the number of stars also will run like this. So that's how the formula is decided, 2 into I minus 1. Yeah. We'll try run it 1 or 2 iterations. Like whenever I equals to 4, whenever I equals to 4, with the it is started with the 4. Let's say 2 into 4 minus 1. That means 8 minus 1. That means 7. So it will place with the 7 here. So it will do for the 7 times. 7 times it will print star. That means 7 stars is required. That's how we required also. So 7 stars, and after that I will become 3 minus 1. This is 5. So it will do for the 5 times. And then I become 2. 2 into 2 minus 1. So it will become 3. 3 times. And now I will become 1. So 2 into 1 minus 1. So it's a 1. 1 time. 1 star. So this is how star sun spaces will work for the down triangle.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.